It's Squeezy, and this is my first ever YouTube video. Oh wait, it isn't. I used to do YouTube videos. I did about 5 videos and then I stopped because I started taking drugs. Well, I've stopped taking drugs now and I thought I might get back into doing more videos. By the way, I've got this on because I was shagging my boy's girl, so I don't need this. So in this video, I'm just gonna share some of the stupid things I did when I was young, when I was little and I didn't have any pubes and I was a virgin and I had a small dick. Basically all those weird things I did. So some of them you've probably thought about as well and some of them you haven't. So I'll just get into it. When I was young, I used to think we had 2 bottles in our stomach. So one was for water and one was for food. Then if one of them got full, that's when you'd have a shit. Or if one got full, that's when you'd have a wee. When I was young, I was scared of growing up because I was scared that the more you grow up, the sooner you die. And I was right. When I was young, I thought that babies came from the mouth. It made sense to me because the mouth is the only body part that's actually wide enough for the baby to fit through. Then as I grew up, I started seeing films of babies coming from down, not from the mouth, obviously. Then from that point onwards, I thought the baby comes from the stomach. I thought they cut like the belly button and then they'll take the baby out. And then at some point, I thought babies came from the ass and that's why it was painful to have one. But I had no idea that babies come from vaginas till I was 13. When I was young, I used to think TVs had small people in them that were acting everything behind the screen. This was obviously when we had those massive TVs with a massive behind. I used to think that the space behind the TV was where these small people are. When I was young, I thought Jesus was real. I still think he's real, but it's just that when I was young, I used to believe he was always there watching me. If I did something bad or anything, he would just be there like staring at me. But now, even though I know Jesus is watching, I still do bad things and just don't care, you know, YOLO. When I was young, I thought that if I didn't pray for my food, I would actually die. Because I watched this film where this jealous witch poisoned the kids' food, but when they prayed, no harm came to them. But the other kid that refused to pray with them was poisoned and died. So I spent my childhood praying for everything I got, whether it's a crisp in a packaging or something. I thought everything was poisoned. But these days I don't care. I'll find unfinished food in the park, on the bench, somewhere, and I'll eat it anyway. YOLO. When I was young, I used to think that it was the sun that was moving around us instead of us moving around it. I'm sure some people still think that it's the sun that's moving. When I was young, I thought Nanny McPhee was real. So after watching the film, I did everything that my parents told me to do. Because I was scared that if I misbehaved, even for 1 second, that ugly, weird Nanny McPhee would show up on my doorstep. Until I grew up and I realized, no, it's not real. I don't have to clean anything. So I just leave the dishes in the sink. When I was young, I used to think that cartoons were real and that they used to live in their own world. Man, you have no idea how pissed off I was when I found out that cartoons were actually made. When I was young, I also used to want to go to prison. That was after I watched Prison Break. If you don't know what Prison Break is, I don't know, man. I think you need help. I'm not even gonna explain, like it's embarrassing to explain what Prison Break is. When I was young, I used to think that every white boy with glasses was Harry Potter. When I was young, I used to watch Dora the Explorer. You know when she does that thing and she talks to you? I used to actually think she was listening and taking every answer I was telling her. She said, which way are we taking? And I would say, oh, take right. And I would think that, oh wow, she's listening. And I remember I used to think, wow, this slag is listening. I wasn't calling her slag then, I didn't even know what the word meant. But I was like, oh, Dora knows what I'm saying. And I was buzzing. I would walk around thinking I'm special because Dora, some girl on the TV, knows what I'm saying. And then I grew up to realize the bitch always just made the shit up. And I just feel so bad about my life. When I was young, I used to think I was good looking. But when I grew up and no girl liked me, I realized I wasn't. When I was young, I actually thought that being nice to people got you anywhere in life. But then I've been nice to my exes, I've been nice to my snaky ex-friends, I've been nice to people that I shouldn't have been nice to, and then I realized that being nice to people actually just messes you up. No one cares about people being nice to them or no. It's like the more you're not nice to people, the more they like you. I know it's weird, but that's just how the world works. The world is a weird place. It's like the more you ignore people, not in a bad way, but the more you ignore them, you space yourself, is the more they like you. When I was young, I also used to think that people deserved second chances, but then I go back with my ex, she treated me like shit. Then I got my friends back that I don't like, and they still were the same shady as fuck friends. So now I don't give anyone second chances. If you want second chances, die, and maybe if we meet in another life, I'll give you second chances. When I was young, I used to think that you can get a girl pregnant by kissing her. So I always stayed away from kissing anyone because I did not want to be 5 years old with a baby, and I don't want to be a 5-year-old dad.